Yo, 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 what up with it, y'all? What's going on? Hey, y'all, it is officially Tuesday. I know I said it was Tuesday yesterday, but that's because I was going to pre-make a video, to be honest. Yeah, we all do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to drop it because good thing I did drop it yesterday, right? Because now we are actually seeing in real time what's going on. What these players in this NIL, Jaden Rashada has sued Florida and Billy Napier for some bread. Now we gotta take a look at this, man. So I got the ESPN story pulled up. I'm gonna read it and then look, and then I'll give my commentary on it. So even if y'all can't see it, I'll just scroll along and I'll read it as we're going. All right. So it says Jaden Rashada, a former ESPN 300 quarterback recruit, sued the University of Florida and coach Billy Napier on Tuesday. Rashada is claiming he was defrauded of millions of dollars in the name of name, image, and likeness money. The lawsuit, among others, alleges that Napier promised the player's father a $1 million partial payment upon signing. Rashada never got the money, and the boosters never fulfilled the deal. The lawsuit states it is the latest in a long saga involving the player and the school. Now, Rashada is the first college athlete known to sue his coach or a booster due to a dispute over an NIL deal. What's next for Rashada in Florida? Our reporters break it down. How did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get here? Rashada was ranked number 31 overall in the 2023 class and had a prep career that featured several transfers. His freshman season in high school was played at Liberty High School in Brentwood, California. He then transferred to IMG Academy in Florida before going back to California to play 3 seasons at Pittsburgh, California High School. His college decision came down to two Florida schools and two big NIL numbers before he even stepped on the field. He's getting this based off of stars and everything, just based off the stars and whatever else. He ain't played one snap of college football and already getting money thrown at him. But let me keep continuing. Rashada committed to the Miami Hurricanes in June of 2022. The lawsuit states that Rashada had a 9.5 million NIL promise with the Canes, but Rashada decommitted that November and promptly flipped to the Florida Gators and Coach Napier. He signed his national letter of intent during the December signing period. However, he didn't enroll at Florida, and his rival in Gainesville was contingent on a 4-year, 13.85 million NIL deal. Dang. Rashada asked for a release from his letter of intent when the deal fell through. The Gators Collective, an independent fundraising organization that distributed money to UF athletes at the time, was responsible for the deal. However, the financial backing did not materialize, and the Gator Collective terminated the contract. Rashada was released from his letter of intent. He took a visit to Arizona State and committed to play for the Sun Devils, arriving on campus in July 2023. Rashada started the first 2 games of the season for Arizona State, but an injury kept him out for most of the season. In 3 games, he was 44 of 82 for 485 yards with 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Rashada entered the transfer portal on April 18th and is now transferring to Georgia, where he will have 4 years of eligibility remaining. What's next for Rashada? There you go. So, before I get up into this next one, see, before he even got a snap and before he was even proving himself, he was already willing and dealing. And see, um, it's sad to say the way that this is going on because business is made. But see, this is why, and I say this and I harp on this all the time. Contracts, contracts, contracts. And this is why I know, look, I know I harped on it a lot of the times and everything else, but I'm gonna give my full breakdown afterwards. But that's for all right now. All I have to say is before he even actually played a snap, he was about to make $13.85 million and ain't proven himself in college yet. Crazy numbers. So what's next for Rashada? Georgia emerged as Rashada's likely transfer destination soon after he entered the portal. He selected the Bulldogs April 25th, captioning his Instagram announcement, "Compete with the best," rather than vying for the starting job at Arizona State University with emerging Michigan State transfer Sam Levitt. Rashada enters a situation where he will play behind Georgia's Carson Beck, a top Heisman Trophy contender and an NFL hopeful. Bearing an injury to Beck, Rashada will use the 2024 season for developmental purposes while absorbing a different offense under coordinator Mike Bobo in Athens. A realistic goal would be he would start in 2025 for a Bulldogs team always in the national title hunt. He would need to beat out primary challenger Gunnar Stockton, who entered his third season in the Georgia program and gained valuable experience this spring. Both Stockton and incoming freshman Ryan, I can't pronounce that, Puglis. I guess that's Ryan Pug. That's what I'll call it. Ryan Pug. All right. Pugsy. That's what I'll say. All right. Pugsley. All right. Ryan Pugsley. Ranked among ESPN's top 110 recruits in their respective classes, Coach Kirby Smart likes to have 4 scholarship quarterbacks on his roster at all times, and the team has 2025 commitment from ESPN 300 recruit Ryan Montgomery. Let me read that back. I stuttered a lot. A realistic goal would be for him to start in 2025 for a Bulldogs team in the national title hunt. He would need to beat out the primary challenger Gunnar Stockton, who entered his third season in the Georgia program and gained valuable experience this spring. Both Stockton and incoming freshman Ryan Pugsley ranked among ESPN's top 110 recruits in their respective classes. Coach Kirby Smart likes to have 4 scholarship quarterbacks on his roster at all times, and the team has a 2025 commitment from ESPN 300 recruit Ryan Montgomery. All right. Rashada is the most decorated quarterback prospect of the bunch, but he will need to adjust quickly, especially with Stockton ahead of the learning curve. Adam Rittenberg wrote that. All right. How did this affect Florida on the field? So before we even get to this part, this last little part or whatever this is, he got to go to Georgia and he has to compete for the job. He got to play. He got to end up somewhere good now because he got to get the stock back up. But now he wants to sue for some money because now he's a backup. But he said they say the deal never fell through. But see, that's what we'll talk. I want to get to it so bad. But how did this affect Florida on the field? The Gators signed Rashada in December 2022, anticipating he would compete for the starting job with veteran Graham Mertz, who transferred in from Wisconsin. Without him, the job went to Mertz, who threw for 2,903 yards, completed 73% of his passes, and threw for 20 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions last season. Losing Rashada did not help Napier from a public relations standpoint, as he drew ire from the Florida fan base, especially after a 5-7 finish in 2023. Right. So DJ Lagway is the top quarterback prospect in the 2024 recruiting class. Florida did have a plan for his future, though, as Napier had a long-standing commitment from DJ Lagway, the top-rated quarterback in the class of 2024. Lagway committed to Florida just weeks before Rashada signed his letter of intent, and the Gators were in a massive fight to keep Lagway as other schools went after him as signing day approached last December. Lagway has said Clemson, USC, and Texas A&M all made late pushes, but he ultimately signed with the Gators and enrolled early. Going through spring football, his decision to come to Florida was absolutely huge for Napier. All right, who was yet to find a solid footing heading into year three and desperately needed Lagway to sign. Mertz is back for one more season and is the presumptive starter. All right, we got this. But there is a lot riding on a season for Florida and for Napier in particular, with the season opener against rival Miami, Florida. Fans want to see progress and results immediately. If Mertz struggles, do not be surprised if fans start calling for leg weight. Do not be surprised. Could the Gators face any NCAA repercussions from Rashada's claims? The NCAA alerted Florida amongst a year ago that it was investigating claims that the football program had violated recruiting rules. According to the documents obtained by the Associated Press, ESPN Mark, I can't, ooh, Schallenbach Mark Schallenbach, I guess that's the best way I could get it, confirmed the investigation was related to Rashada's recruitment. Rashada's claims in his lawsuit that Napier directly promised Rashada a $1 million payment from a booster if he signed with Florida, which would be a violation of the NCAA's policies. That NCAA penalized Florida State and suspended one of his coaches in January for getting involved in NIL offers made to a prospect. However, the NCAA sent a letter to its schools in late February explaining that it was pausing all open enforcement cases involving third party participation in NIL related activities after a federal judge in Tennessee granted an injunction that prohibited the NCAA from enforcing some of its rules. That case was filed by Tennessee's Attorney General after NCAA opened an investigation divulged recruiting tactics. Any other high profile enforcement actions taken by the NCAA, such as a penalty for Napier's or the Gators, could invite additional lawsuits at the time when the association remains vulnerable to antitrust scrutiny, which makes it unlikely that the NCAA punishments could be coming soon, what Dan Murphy wrote. All right, so they could be coming soon. So we heard that. So look, y'all know where I'm going. Regardless, with everything, you could write it however you want to write it. You can make it sound however you want to sound. You can push back however you want to push back on this. But I have been talking about this for the longest, and I think it's about time that this is about to happen. I think this is about time. This is about to happen, y'all. Um, Contracts and that I explained it so many times. I advise y'all to go and check out some of my videos when I'm talking about contracts and the NIL because I've broke this down so many different ways that this can work. Now, now that this case has came out in the open, and I just made a video yesterday when Coach JB on the Coach JB and Big Smitty show, Matt McChesney and Carl from 24/7 Sports was talking about how there was a unknown defensive lineman who was in the SEC that did not get his $400,000 he was promised through the NIL, which made him go to the NFL early, even though he was graded as a third round pick or a day 3 pick, however you want to put that. Um, I can't remember which one it was, but and he was supposed to go back to school. He was like, I'm going to go get this bag. That's for sure in the NFL. I know I'm a draft pick. Don't matter which draft pick I am. I know some team's going to pick me up rather than go back to college and play around with this NIL money. And they promising us this and then they locking us down. See, and I'm not saying, and see, this is all falls back into what I've been preaching. Contracts protects players, but parents are not agents. Parents are not lawyers. And see, even if the parent would say, even if his dad would have said, look, let's sign a contract, this money would have been owed to him regardless. So right now, unless I have not heard or seen anything that says he has proof, correct me otherwise, but to say that they have proof of that, this is just hearsay. Him just, he's just dog right now. He just bringing attention to this, but there's a lot of players out there who are not making money, that are promised money but can't leave. And see, the SEC has a rule that you can't even transfer to another SEC team. You have to sit out a year. They already got you signed in that contract, so they already ahead of the game. They already got players signing that contract. You got to sit out a year if you want to go to another SEC school. And the SEC school is almost what, y'all? What is that? That's almost guaranteeing you going to the NFL. Like if you play at a SEC school, you do well. Even if you do mediocre, you are looked at as NFL potential, and a head coach is going to want to develop you. So if you go do well in the SEC, you're definitely getting drafted to the NFL. Do y'all agree? And what I'm saying, if there was a contract, a binding agreement in which they already got players signing anyway, they already got them signing it. What they want, sit out a year. But see, parents are not having a contract. These schools writing contracts. And then on the other hand, though, and I must say, on the other hand of their situation, being greedy, shopping your kid around, and not being an agent, or not even looking at it the way that you're supposed to be looking at it. Like, okay, first I'm gonna take them to Miami. Let's see what Miami talking about. No, you ain't going to Miami. Florida throwing $13 million at us. You want to be greedy, go for $13 million. He just got out of high school, bro. Like, I understand by that time you probably invested so much money into your child, but like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, you can't even, and then he got hurt. And then he got hurt last season. He got hurt. So this is like, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, the chance that a coach might even take on this whole situation is crazy. Like, so you mean to tell me you're gonna kick up $13 million for a freshman who has never proven himself in college, because the game speed changes. Even though Rashada he did pretty decent, as I could say, in the Pac-12, but you're gonna take a chance with a freshman. He get hurt. You got $13 million invested into this kid. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do now? What do you do now as a coach? And then now we go back to the other side, the parent side. Okay, well, now we don't even got the money. You playing at Arizona State, you got hurt for free. Now you got to go be a backup, and you ain't got be, and because you didn't prove yourself last year on the field because of an injury. It's hard to shop you around for NIL, but remember, Florida said they was going to give us some NIL money, so let's go ahead and let's sue them now. Is it about, at this point, if you didn't have the lawyers, and I'm just being honest about the situation, if you didn't have the lawyers and everything, if you didn't sue Florida, you know what I'm saying, to try to get some money up out of the situation, because that's what it was about in the first place. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It was about the bread. And look, I don't blame, do what you need to do in that situation, but being greedy, look where it got you with no contracts. And this is what I'm saying, y'all. It's evident that they need to come into play, because it's going to protect everything. And I even mentioned injuries, education, injuries. Okay, if I get injured, does my deal stop? I still need to be able to get my education. You know what I'm saying? None the least, I still need to get my education, and I need to be voided from paying anything back because of an injury, because those are inevitable in football. So that's what I'm saying. Like, now that these players are coming out like this, I'm guaranteed, like, they're coming. They're coming, and people are going to say, oh, well, this person said this first. No, I was talking about it. And I was talking about it first, people. And I probably wasn't the first one, But a lot of people said, no, keep it the way it is. Oh, no, that ain't going to happen. No, and they blow me off with it. But see, this is what I was talking about. It's like I could almost see these things going on. I didn't know these things was going on, but it just felt like it's coming up. It's coming up. How could it not? How could it not be that way? Or how could they not be coming into a contract error and all this money is just been thrown around? And this is the type of thing that's going to happen. If I could just be like, all right, so all right, come on, you a 5-star quarterback, you fire here. All right, I'm gonna give you $2 million, and then you give them a regular NIL scholarship. That's not even worth that. And mind you, a lot of these NIL deals from the collectives, like y'all heard it yesterday on the video, the guys are only making like $350. The average is only like $350. It's really no money. There's really no money that they're getting from the collectives unless you're a star like that. Unless you're a star like that. So you could be an All-American in college and you're really not getting no bread. It's crazy. They're trying to get the money, but the only way they're going to get it is through revenue sharing. But the thing they want to lock down with revenue sharing is that they want to keep away the players from unionizing and the sort, the collective, the NFLPA, the collective bargaining. That's where they want to keep players from going to, is collective bargaining. But you can't stop that. It's there. Collective bargaining is going to have to come in the new landscape of college football. um you're going to have to get your agents involved, and I would advise parents, if you want to be a mom and juror, a dad and juror, or auntie, whatever it is, I would advise you to go ahead and get your agent license. I heard this don't cost much to get your agent license with an NIL deal. Go and take some of that money and go and get you go and become an official agent for your child. Learn the business of the business. Know what you're getting yourself into and get the best deal for your child. And it shouldn't be all. And look, you do what you want to do with your kid, but personally, me speaking from a father, from a father's point of view on this situation, and this is me coming from a father's point of view perspective on this, I would want to lock down stability for my child. Of course, I want my child to eat. You know what I mean? He see everybody else eating. He works extremely hard. He or her works extremely hard at their sport. They train all year round for it. They keep their body in shape, their meal planning, doing everything they need to do. So yes, I want him to be compensated, him or her to be compensated for that. But I also want to make sure they got stability in the program and that they're going to be developed for the next level if that comes. But education is more important to me than anything, because an injury in hockey, football is bound to happen in those sports. So education is important to me. I want to make sure that my child is going to be able to get a degree that is more than a communications degree. Or I want to make sure he got something of validity, something to stamp his name on, or her name on, outside of the NIL deal. And you're not going to take him off. You're not going to kick him out. You're not pushing him to the side or pushing him out of school. He's going to finish school. That is important to me. That can be written up in a contract. Each person, just how you treat people different in the locker room, from stars and everything else. A contract is a binding agreement between the two individuals. It can say anything that you want for that particular individual. Everybody's going to have different contracts, but there got to be somebody there. The collective bargaining, it has to be done. Somebody going to have to step up. It's going to have to be an adult who's familiar with the college football landscape and the college football that's going to be there. I heard Joel Klatt. I heard somebody mention Joel Klatt stepping in and doing this for the kids. I think Joel Klatt would be honored to do something like this for. Now, I don't want to say kids, for these young men. I think Joel Klatt would be the perfect person to do that. Joel Klatt and others. Let's say Mark Ingram, Robert Griffin. I'm just throwing names out there, guys who are still around. Maurice Jones-Drew, that still are around. Damian Tomlinson, guys who may want to do that for these college athletes, because it's going to have to happen unless Even I even thought of Matt McChesney. He got a little bit of. I mean, he still got things going on, but I don't know if they could do all that. But it has to be done. They need a group of adults, of grown ass men, that know the business of the NIL, because that's the model that they're trying to get to, but it's everywhere right now. They're trying to model the NFL, but it's just everywhere right now. And the only way, once again, it's going to come down to a piece of paper between two individuals, a binding agreement, and that's it. It's the only way you're going to be able to get ahead of this, and the only way that this is going to come up in any good kind of way, man. It's just, it is what it is. It has to be done. It has to be done. And I should speak on this some more on Saturday, to get to pick around it so that I can interact with y'all. It's just more than just a video, just hearing me talk about the situation, so I can interact back and forth with y'all and hear exactly what y'all have to say on this, because this is something that is huge. And I've been talking about it, and I'm a little bit passionate about this because I'm a parent myself, and my son could very well be going to college for football, and a big college, and I tell him, look, hey, look, I'm proud of you regardless. Proud of you regardless. You getting up every day, working out, pushing forward in your sport. I don't care about you going to the pros. Get your education. Get that free education. Do something with that. Network while you're at college. Meet people while you're there. Maybe you meet a couple of players that's going into the NFL. Maybe you'll meet a computer tech. Maybe you'll meet a rocket scientist, an astronaut, a doctor, a lawyer. Meet everybody there. Figure out what you're going to do, but get that education, network, and use that education, because you may not be able to depend on football. You may not be able to depend on football. And I tell him that, and I stress that to all my kids. Get that free education, because I can't pay for no college. I'm blessed to just be able to just now buy my crib. Grew up in Section 8. I'm sure a lot of us did. I got the same story a lot of y'all got out there. But this is what I tell mine. Get that free education. And I wish that there was more parents who did that, and they wasn't so focused on making the league, because if you get injured, like if you get hurt, then what happens? What happens after that? You got a communications degree as a major, but you can't play football no longer because you just don't got it no more because of ACL injury. Everybody don't bounce back the same. Everybody's body's not the same. Everybody's not bionic. Everybody's not an Adrian Peterson. You know what I'm saying? It's just the truth. Even with modern medicine. And what are you going to do after that? What's the fallback plan? That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna give to y'all, man. That's a thought, man. Hey, tell me what y'all think down in the comments, man. For sure. Come through, man, on Friday, man, 8 p.m. Man. We gonna get up into this, man. We going live. We definitely we talking about the basketball, the youth, and how international players might be taking over professional basketball. We're gonna get up into that. We're gonna get up into this and some other things, man. But let me know how y'all feel down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about what I said and others, man, and add to it, because look, like I said, y'all, at the end of the day, contracts is the only way you're gonna get ahead. It's gonna help with the transfer portal. It's gonna help with situations like this when you getting promised money, you ain't getting it. The players out there that don't got money, I wish there was I'm telling you, we're gonna be surprised at the players that come out now, that get the courage to come out now and talk about it. You're gonna be like, wow, they ain't get paid. Oh, that person didn't get paid. It's a lot of players. But see, the only thing in college is you can't sit out. They can't sit out like in the pros. See, in the pros, you can sit out to wait for your bread. They can't do that. They have to play because that's where they want to go. So that, to have that on your mind, like, dang, and then listen, and then The worst part in it says before I'm gonna say this before I let y'all go is that they're not even getting their Pell Grants. Like they have to forfeit in order to get one of these NIL deals. You have to forfeit your little Pell Grant, that little Pell Grant money that can get you. You know what I'm saying? Your little once a month, every 2 weeks, however much that come. I think it's like once a month or what, like or quarterly, however that come. You know what I'm saying? Couple $1,000 you could ball out with. You know what I'm saying? Have fun or get you some decent food, get you a steak now and then. You have to forfeit that to get an NIL deal that they promising you, and you only getting $400 a month or something like that. Come on, come on. That's why we got to talk about this in depth, man. But look, I appreciate y'all coming through, checking me out on the channel. I got the rambling for a half, man. Look, I got so much to say on this. I really do, man. But look, peace out, y'all. I'm about to go finish watching my boy, man, Coach Hayes. Y'all, peace out. Hope that y'all come through on Friday, 8 p.m., man. Like I said, next week, Saturday, we'll be going in, man. But look, I'm up out of here, man. Hey, roll the commercials.
Want to see Truck and Chubby live and co-host Shannon? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.